How's it going, you guys? It is Will here, and I apologize for my absence. It's been a crazy time. I literally moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, so it's been a big transition, but I've been settled in now, and I'm back now, trying to make more videos, and we got a pretty great one here. This is the X Plus 30cm Godzilla 1999, or Godzilla 2000. I'll probably say Godzilla 2000 for this video, just because it rolls off the tongue easier. Alrighty, now this is an older X Plus figure. Like, this particular Godzilla 2000 came out in 2013, so a bit of an oldie for X Plus, but honestly it's still pretty awesome. Like, when I first discovered X Plus back in the day, like, this was one of the first figures that I ever saw, so the fact that I now have it here in my collection is just like awesome. Like, I feel like a young teenager again. The box, I would show you more about the box, but this is literally it for the box. Like, you get the picture in the front and then nothing else really. And then you just get the plastic housing and then that's it. Very simple for the box, so we can get that out of here now. So like I said, this is an older X Plus Godzilla 2000. There have been some newer versions of this Godzilla from X Plus and other companies that have come out, which I'll get into later. But I think this was the very first, like, highly detailed big Godzilla 2000 that came out, you know, not including Bandai or anything like that. But still, even though this figure is over 10 years old, it still holds up in my opinion. Like, it's a very nice interpretation of the Mitagoji suit. And just to give you guys an idea of his size, let me push him back. Let's push this tripod back a little bit. Let's bring in the Toho Kaiju series, Godzilla 2000. So there's an idea of the size there. And then we'll bring in the even smaller Movie Monster series version. So yeah, definitely way bigger than your basic Bandai figures, but that's to be expected because 30cm X Plus, 6-inch, 5.5-inch Bandai toys. The skin detail on this Godzilla is really nice, you know. For being an older X Plus figure, it still looks pretty good. Like, all the skin ridges are there. You got the iconic Godzilla 2000 spines. The color on them could be a little bit better though. They're more like a reddish color on this figure. But at least the sculpt of them does look pretty nice. And of course the just awesome skin detail. Like, if there's one thing X Plus gets right, it's of course the skin detail. Even though this is an older figure from 2013, they did a pretty good job. Like, it's a real nice representation of this Godzilla suit. Now, I do like the pose of this figure. I do have a slight issue with it though. Like, I really love the way the arms are positioned. It's like he's getting ready to defend himself or possibly strike for an attack. I really do like the position of the arms. But the legs are just a little too widespread for me. Like, I feel like if Godzilla stood like this in an actual fight, because of how wide his legs are, he'd probably lose his balance pretty quickly. So if the legs were just, I don't know, just a little bit closer together, I don't know, I think it would look better. Like, I don't know, dude, they just look a little bit too wide for me. Now, I'm happy I'm filming this figure in direct sunlight because the only way you can make out the eyes on this figure is if you have a light shining directly on its face, because half the time the eyes just look like that. They look like they're so dark a lot of the time. So you need to have this figure in some kind of direct light in order to make out the eyes, which is like one of my biggest gripes about this figure, other than the pose of the legs. But at least the eyes, when you do see them, actually look pretty good. He has those nice big anime-esque eyes that Godzilla 2000 is known for, and that I do appreciate, but the color of the eyes is so dark, so he just looks like that half the time on my shelf. Looks like a demon. And right here I got Godzilla 2000 scaled up with my only other X Plus Godzilla that I have for now, that being the standard 30cm Godzilla 1993. And I just wanted to show this off because not only do I love this figure so much, but this just shows just how X Plus has improved over time, because this guy was released 2013 and this guy was released in 2019, and this Godzilla 93 is incredibly detailed. Like, look at this guy. And what's crazy is Godzilla 93 isn't even part of like a special release. He's not a exclusive Yuji Sakai sculpt. No, this is part of the standard X Plus line, just like this figure was, but he's just so much more detailed. Like, this just shows X Plus's improvement over the years. So it's definitely apparent. Like they must have got like a new batch of sculptors or something within the 6 years, because this figure, for just a standard baseline figure, it looks incredible. So that just shows how far X Plus has come between this figure and this figure. So even though this is one of X Plus's older Godzilla figures, I still think it's pretty awesome. You know, it's still a pretty faithful representation of the Mirror Goji suit from Godzilla 2000 Millennium. I do have my issues with the figure though, particularly the legs being a little too widespread, and the eyes could be a little bit of a lighter shade just so they pop a little bit more, as well as the coloration of the spines. I wish they were a little bit more purple. They're kind of this maroon color, but I can forgive all that, as this is one of X Plus's older figures and it's still a very nice looking figure. Now, X Plus has come out with some other Godzilla 2000s. Like I said, this was probably the first one that came out back in 2013. And then in 2017, they came out with the version 2, which the version 2 of Godzilla 2000, or 1999, it looks okay. It's more of a lighter green with more pink spines. Kind of looks like the Megaguirus suit. I don't mind the color, but the pose that figure is in is just awful. Like, Godzilla is in like mid-step, so he's more hunched over, so that figure is shorter than this one, even though it's 30 centimeters. And just the pose, at least in pictures, it just makes Godzilla look fat, you know? Which the Mirror Goji suit wasn't a chunky Godzilla like the Heisei Godzilla. No, he was slimmed down, but he wasn't like super slim like Final Wars Godzilla. No. So that's what I don't like about the V2. It's just the pose that makes him look fat. Maybe it looks better in person, I don't know. But that one I definitely passed on. I saw it at the same collector shop I got this figure at, but I went with this one because I just had more nostalgia for this one and I like this sculpt more. So that's why I went with this one over V2. And then I believe in 2019 or 2020, X Plus came out with a shorter, smaller 25 centimeter Godzilla 1999, which honestly I think actually looks better than this 30 centimeter. You know, the 25 centimeter is very well detailed. The eyes are way better. They pop more, and the color of the spines are more purpley. And personally, I think the spines are sculpted better on the 25 centimeters. So that's a really nice one as well. Sorry about that, you guys. The camera died on me. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like X Plus's 25 centimeter Godzilla 2000 looks slightly better than this 30 centimeter for those reasons. I think the detail is better. The pose is a little bit better. The eyes are way better. And I think the sculpt of the spines, as well as the color of the spines, look more suit accurate. But I will say, in even more recent years, like within the last year or so, we've gotten even more accurate Godzilla 2000s in this 30 centimeter scale. There's been a rival company known as W Dragon who came out with a 30 centimeter Godzilla 2000, which honestly, the W Dragon blows out all these older X Plus figures. All the figures I just talked about, the W Dragon blows them all out of the water. It's a very nice sculpt. The pose that the W Dragon's in looks great. It doesn't make Godzilla look chunky like X Plus's version 2 Godzilla 2000 did. So the W Dragon is a very, very good contender for most accurate Godzilla 2000. However, I feel like X Plus took offense to that because, like I said, within the last year or so, X Plus came out with another 30 centimeter Godzilla 2000 called the Super Toho 30 centimeter Godzilla 2000 or 1999. And that figure from X Plus is literally a 3D scan of the existing restored Godzilla 2000 suit. Like that, you can't get any better than that, you know? And guys, I have good news. I do have the X Plus Super Toho 30 centimeter Godzilla 1999 on the way. I ordered it. And once I get that figure in, I will compare it with this 30 centimeter X Plus. I will make a short on it. Like, it's going to be a real fun time. So guys, definitely stay tuned to check out that Godzilla 2000 on the channel. But like I said, this figure is still pretty awesome. Like, I still love this 30 centimeter. Even though it's an older X Plus figure, I think it still holds up very well. So if you can get your hands on it, or any of the figures I just mentioned, you won't be disappointed. Because X Plus, they might be a little bit pricey, yes, but they do make for some great display pieces in your collection. So if you have a chance to get any of these X Plus figures, you guys definitely don't hesitate on them, because they'll look really nice on your display. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for when we unbox the Super Toho 30 centimeter Godzilla 2000, because that figure's gonna look awesome. Like I said, it's literally a 3D scan from a Godzilla suit. But yeah, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one.